Hey guys, it's Heidi. I'm about to bust out some serious information on you guys. If you've been following me for any length of time, you've probably heard me say it time and time and time and time again to respect your grain line. I think a lot of people think they're respecting the grain line, and maybe they are, maybe they're not, maybe they do it and they don't know why. Well, let's jump into it. Alright, so that we don't have to start from basics, I'm going to link a video below where we discuss what is grain line, how to identify it, and what does it do for you when you're sewing garments. So today we're going to take a piece of fabric. We're going to be marking our cross grain, our lengthwise grain, and our bias grain. We're then going to drape it onto the dress form so that we have a visual aid that will make it so much more obvious as to why you need to be cutting on grain. Alright, you must know I love you guys because I'm on the ground here so you can see better. This is our selvage edge. Every thread that runs parallel to the selvage is our lengthwise grain. I'm going to do some measurements here. We're going to put our lengthwise grain in green, okay? Hold on, let me do this. Alright, we got our lengthwise grain marked. Anything perpendicular to your lengthwise grain, so in this direction, is going to be your cross grain. I'm going to go ahead and mark a line for cross grain. We're going to do that in red. Alright, cross grain is marked. We're going to go ahead and do the bias now. Okay, we're at the dress form. I got my grain lines marked. My bias is in black. I don't know if I mentioned that. The first one I'm going to semi-drape here is my lengthwise grain. This is how your fabric is supposed to be cut on your lengthwise grain with that running down. If you notice, you're forming some very nice vertical fullness here that is going to be easy to take into a dart. Check that. I'm going to do a side-by-side in the end. It's forming nicely to the bust. This is going to smooth out very nicely and conform very nicely. So our lengthwise grain has no stretch and is the strongest of the threads. So it's not being taken over by the cross grain. I'm about to flip it. We're going to go to the cross grain. Okay, watch the difference as we flip it. Don't put pins in your mouth. Right here, doing the exact same thing in the exact same way that I did before. Okay? Do you notice how there's no vertical lines here? Everything's wanting to kick out in every direction? That's because your cross grain is weaker than your lengthwise grain. And since your lengthwise grain is going across here now, it's taking over the seam. It's taking over the whole seam here. So, take note of that. Now we're going to quickly flip it to the bias because I'm running out of time here. But you can get a general idea how well this would conform and body shape to the body. It's a very pretty silhouette, but you got to be working for that on the bias. So I was going to do a side by side, but I don't have time. I hope these tips help. Please respect your grain line. Have a great day.